Hello everyone, welcome to Pharma Thoughts. Episode 9, Quality Assurance. In this episode, today we will try to understand the definitions of quality, quality control and quality assurance. Please note that we will not discuss much about the roles and responsibilities of these departments. Instead of that, we will try to discuss the concept of quality and try to understand the basics. So let's start the episode. Agenda. As we said now, today we'll try to understand the concept of quality, what is quality control and what is quality assurance. When we are going to discuss this particular topic, the first question is, what is quality? We discuss a lot about quality in our day-to-day lives. Specifically when we are working in pharma industry, quality is the buzzword. We discuss about quality day in and day out. But if someone asks us to define quality, how we will define quality? Just pause this video for a minute and think about quality. Try to define quality in your own words. Did you try to define quality in your own words? It is a bit confusing, right? How quality can be defined? Quality is quality. Which is good is what we normally call quality. But how to define what is good? Something that is good for me may not be good for you. Something that is good for you may not be good for me. So how to define quality? It's a big question. It's not as simple as we think, right? So what is quality? Quality is a subjective term. For most of the times, quality is a subjective term. Something that is good for one person or for one industry or for one sector may not be good for others. So the definition of quality changes according to the person or the sector or the industry. The basic thing is quality is a subjective term most of the times when there is no standard definition. And from where did the quality word has come? Basically, quality has originated from a Latin word qualis, the meaning of which is of what kind or of such a kind. So qualis is a Latin word which is used to describe something, to describe the nature of a person or a thing. It is of such kind, it is of what kind. And according to Joseph Juran, the famous quality guru, the quality is nothing but fitness for use. If a thing or process is fit for its intended use, then he said it is of required quality. And according to another quality guru, Philip Crosby, who has written a popular book called Quality is Free, he defined quality as conformance to requirements. So if something conforms to the specified requirements, then it is of required quality. We just now we thought about a big definition, but they made it very simple. So the definition of quality as per Joseph Juran is fitness for use, and as per Phil Crosby, conformance to requirements. It's as simple as said. So what is quality? We will just try to touch upon a bit of history in this slide. It was around 1940s, 50s and 60s, the decades, those 3 decades post Second World War. We know the Second World War happened from 1939 to 1945. And the Second World War ended after USA dropped nuclear bombs on Japan. And Japan was severely affected by Second World War. It lost the war and its economy was in ruins. Japan tried to revive the economy by boosting the industrial production. But by then, the Japanese goods were considered of low quality. So the Japanese companies were trying to find out ways to improve the quality, at the same time keeping the prices competitive. During these situations, 2 American engineers who were also considered as quality gurus, one engineer Mr. Edwards Deming and another engineer Mr. Joseph Juran, have provided the quality concepts which were adopted by the Japanese industries at all levels. Not only that, the importance of statistical tools in quality management was explored and proved during this period. Some of the tools we use today, such as Ishikawa diagram, Pareto chart, histograms, etc., were extensively used in controlling the quality in those decades. And after implementing all such kind of measures in the following 2 decades, Japanese goods have set the standard for quality. Even today, we know that Japanese goods are of high quality, whether they are from Sony, Toyota, Nippon, or any other company. And this is a graph taken from Google. And this is just for information. This graph represents a search made by Google, and this search was done for the books which contain the word quality. If you see this graph, we can note that the usage of word quality in the books has increased from 1880s, and a steeper increase was observed after 1900. Emphasis on quality increased from the 1900s, early 1900s. And please note that this is not an accurate way of deriving other things. This graph is just provided as an interesting observation. So coming to our industry, what is quality in pharmaceutical industry? There are many guidelines that are released by different authorities. The definition of quality is slightly varying in each of them. Here I took the definition from few guidelines which I thought are appropriate for today's discussion. First definition, this definition was taken from ICH Q6, which discusses about specifications, test procedures, and acceptance criteria. As per this guidance, quality is suitability of either a drug substance or drug product for its intended use. This term includes attributes such as the identity, strength, and purity. So this definition is very clear and more specific to pharmaceutical products. Apart from this definition, there are some other definitions provided in other guidelines. So the second definition was taken from US FDA guidance, which defines quality as a measure of a product's or service's ability to satisfy the customer's stated and implied needs. If we see, this definition is more in line with the ISO quality management system definition. Here we need to understand what are stated and what are implied needs. This definition is a bit generic in nature, and it is much similar to the ISO quality management system definition. So it is not only specific to pharmaceutical requirements, whereas it's a common definition for all other areas too. So in this particular definition, 2 words which are used as stated and implied needs. Let us try to understand that. For example, if you say that you need an Android smartphone, then the stated needs are the phone. You need a phone. It must be a smartphone. It must be working with an Android OS. So here the stated needs are a phone, which is a smartphone, which is nothing but a smartphone working with Android OS. Nothing more. You did not say anything. You did not state any other needs. Whereas here the implied needs are, you should be able to make calls because you want a phone. That phone should work. Like the phone basically works by making calls. You should be able to browse the internet because you want a smartphone. You should be able to browse the internet. So making calls, texting, and browsing the internet are all the implied needs. You don't specify them. You think that when you get a smartphone, you will be able to do all these activities like calling, texting, and browsing the internet. So these are implied needs which are not directly stated. All these needs are expected and are not stated when you make your wish. So stated needs are the one which you specify, and implied needs are the ones that are normally expected from the product. So the definition of quality is nothing but it is a measure of customer satisfaction on providing the stated and implied needs by a product or service. And there is another definition which is taken from ICH Q9 quality risk management. And as per this statement, quality is the degree to which a set of inherent properties of a product, system, or process fulfills the requirements. It is more or less similar to the above definition. So these are the definitions that are available in different guidelines related to the pharmaceutical industry. From the above, the definition which is very clear and more applicable to our industry is the definition which is taken from ICHQ 6A, the first definition, which states that the suitability of a drug substance or a drug product for its intended use, that is quality, when it comes to the pharmaceutical industry. What is quality control? The first definition was taken from ICHQ 7, which is the GMP guide for APIs. As per this guideline, quality control is checking or testing that specifications are met. It is very clear and very specific. I like this definition because it is more practical and reflects the current industry scenario. In most of the companies, quality control mainly involves in testing of incoming materials, in-process materials and end products. And the second definition is taken from a US FDA guideline. As per this guideline, quality control is the steps taken during the generation of a product or service to ensure that it meets requirements and that the product or service is reproducible. And this definition gives an overall picture, and this is a bit generic in nature, whereas the above definition, ICHQ 7, which has defined the definition of quality control in ICHQ 7, is much clear and much applicable to the current practices in the industry. And now let us see the definition of quality assurance. Again, here the first definition was taken from ICHQ 7, which states that quality assurance is the sum total of the organized arrangements made with the object of ensuring that all APIs are of the quality required for their intended use and that quality systems are maintained. It's a very beautiful definition. You see, the quality assurance is the sum total of all the arrangements made. What kind of arrangements? The arrangements with the object of ensuring the quality of all the APIs. So, quality assurance is nothing but arrangements made at all the stages of manufacturing to ensure that the APIs are of required quality. If an arrangement is made for clean room, then it is nothing but a quality assurance arrangement to ensure there is no contamination. If gowning is defined, it is another arrangement to prevent contamination. As per this definition, creating a clean room or practicing gowning is not a requirement of engineering or production. It is a QA requirement. It says that any arrangement that is made to ensure quality of APIs, it is part of quality assurance. And the second definition is taken from US FDA guideline. As per this guideline, quality assurance is proactive and retrospective activities that provide confidence that requirements are fulfilled. Again, this definition is a bit generic in nature, but more or less it implies the same meaning. Proactive and retrospective activities that provide confidence that requirements are fulfilled. That's all. And coming to the summary, quality is a measure of satisfaction in fulfilling the stated and implied needs of a product or services. So the basic definition of quality is it has to satisfy the stated and implied needs. And what is quality control? As we have seen the definition of ICHQ 7, quality control is an act of performing checks at various stages of manufacturing to ensure that the product or service is meeting the defined requirements. Quality control testing should be a part of overall quality assurance program, but not the only basis for releasing the products. Quality assurance is the sum total of all arrangements made with the object of ensuring quality of the products or services. As we have discussed now, from the beginning of the manufacturing till the end, all the arrangements made with the aim of protecting quality comes under quality assurance. So quality assurance is everywhere, and it is to be understood that the quality is the responsibility of all the personnel involved in the process, as only QC testing will not be sufficient to assure the quality of the products. Quality has to be built into the product, not tested. So when the quality is being built, quality is the responsibility of all. And as per the above definition, quality assurance is not just a department. Quality assurance personnel are only custodians. Whereas quality assurance is sum total of all organized arrangements, not just the responsibility of one particular department, or QA is not just a department. The people working in a QA, in quality assurance department, are mere custodians of the quality, but they doesn't directly they are not only the people who are responsible for quality. It is a responsibility of all. And every person who is working in a GMP environment is a quality assurance person, not only the QA person. Every person who is working in a GMP environment in pharma industry is a quality assurance person. A warehouse person who is doing some activity in warehouse according to his SOP is nothing but he is also a QA person who is doing a warehouse job in warehouse department. A production person who is doing some manufacturing activity in the production block is nothing but a QA person who is doing his production job, because the production SOPs or warehouse SOPs or the whole system that has been defined is authorized by quality assurance, and it is a part of QA arrangement, quality assurance concept arrangement, not a department arrangement. So directly or indirectly, every person who is working in under a quality management system is a quality assurance person. And finally, quality assurance is not one-time job. It does not finish once the SOPs are signed off, or once the validation is completed, or once the audit is completed. QA is a concept. Quality assurance is a concept. It's a philosophy. Once this is understood, then it becomes a way of life. And these are the reference links that are used in the preparation of this presentation. You can refer these guidelines for more information on this topic. And thank you for watching the video. If you have any suggestions or you need any clarifications, please write to us at pharmathoughts1@gmail.com. Thank you and have a great day.